Marketing your event is something that happens at nearly every phase of the planning process. It begins well in advance of the event and continues through event day and long after the event has wrapped. In this session, we'll go through three major phases of event marketing and examine the most important elements of building your event website. We'll wrap up with 5 best practices to help you make the most of your event's website presence. Eventbrite UK segments all marketing prior to the event into 4 phases. First, we have pre-event. This would be the very initial stages of your marketing plan. It typically begins by building out your pre-launch web landing page and announcing your event on social media. Next up is your launch phase. This only begins once you are ready to go live with your event registration and have your website and key partners in place. You can choose to launch your event with any combination of email blast, press release, social media announcement, and blog or article. During the day-to-day phases, your focus will turn to maintaining awareness and boosting registration. Your email and social media messaging will likely become much more frequent. You can start to take advantage of some new techniques such as having leaders and event VIPs help you promote the event via guest posts and social media. It may also be a good idea to think about paid promotion like social media campaigns or print advertising. Finally, we come to the last call. You don't want to forget about last-minute marketing tactics in the final days prior to your event. This might mean making phone calls to regular attendees missing from your guest list, or you'll still find time to utilize email, social media, and your event website. Eventbrite says that influencer marketing and attendee referrals can also be leveraged during this time. Let's move on to marketing during your event. Social media and online technology make this easily accessible. Appoint 1 or 2 volunteers who will manage your social media during this time, making sure to post regularly and to engage with anyone who tags your page. If you are using an event hashtag, consider sharing and reposting others participating in the tag. Photos can be especially engaging. Video is another important tool to consider. You may choose to broadcast a portion, or even the entirety of your event to show others what they're missing. You can also use video to capture attendees having fun or to promote other things that may be coming up at your event. Promotion isn't just limited to social media, however. You should try your best to have members from the media at your events to ensure that you will get local news coverage. Invite people like newspaper writers, radio broadcasters, TV reporters, and community bloggers to learn more about the cause you are supporting, get a behind-the-scenes look at the event, enjoy an exclusive interview with a club leader or keynote speaker, whatever angle works. If your event is stretching over more than one day, you might also think about how you can use email to promote other functions at your event. This might come in the form of something like a daily recap e-newsletter, which talks about the highlights of the current day and what is to come. Of course, marketing doesn't stop just because the event is over. Now is the time to brag about your successes and promote any other upcoming events. Just like with marketing during the event, you will want to use a strong media mix. Disseminate a post-event press release to share any event wins, such as the amount of money raised, key awareness messages, or strong attendance figures. These are messages that you can also share on your social media, in your club newsletter, and as a conclusion update on your event website. You should also be repurposing content from your event. Share photos, anecdotes, videos, and longer content pieces to keep your club's name out there. Let's take a moment for a few special virtual event considerations from HubSpot. Most notably, you want to make sure that you are transparent about what audiences can expect from your event. Attendees need to understand what they will get when they register. You can back this up by sending out subsequent emails and targeted social media messages that remind attendees why they signed up in the first place. Just make sure that the purpose is clear and strong. HubSpot also suggests that event marketers find ways to leverage brand partners. This can offer up some great free and in-kind opportunities. Ask those businesses and organizations affiliated with your event to promote the partnership on their marketing channels. Moving on to your event website. There are 2 main types of websites associated with events, the registration website and the event website. The registration website is simply what the name suggests, a simple page that allows attendees to easily register for an event. It works best for small and low barrier events or those that do not need much promotion. On the other hand, an event website is better for larger attention-grabbing events, especially those that come with a higher price tag. This more detailed informational and promotional site will also include a linked registration page. Whichever option you choose, Cvent, an online event planning and marketing solution provider, notes that you will want to make sure that your website is responsive. This means looking at how your website performs and looks on various devices, like computers, tablets, phones, and more. The website should also be branded to your event or organization, easily readable, and accessible to all users. When it comes to access for the planning team, the site should easily make available data, registrant information, and any other controls and analytics necessary for the event to be successful. Now, let's think about website design. What should we make sure to incorporate? Well, first, we have our informational elements. These are the backbone details that help inform your audience about your event. This would include things like event name, purpose, time and date, location, cost, call to action, and frequently asked questions. Then there are the design elements. This is obviously the look and the feel. Important components you will want to take into account include the URL itself, a theme, tagline, and color scheme. Finally, we have navigation. It's all about accessibility here. Experts recommend that designers avoid using several drop-down menus. Think about how it will look on various screens, and make sure to test it with people outside the design and planning teams. You'll also want to ensure that any key links, such as registration, are very prominent and available on every page. To wrap things up, there are a few additional best practices from event technology company EventsForce. First, be upfront. You want visitors to your site to quickly understand what the event is about, when and where it will be held, and how to register. The landing page needs to be something that grabs their attention. Use strong visuals. Images, graphics, and videos should all have a prominent place on your site. Think about your font choices. EventsForce explains that this simple decision can indicate subtle hints about the personality of your event or organization. Color matters. Many purchase decisions are made on the basis of color choice alone, a fact that extends to event registration. You want to make sure that your site's color scheme is attractive but readable. Dark font on light backgrounds tends to work best, especially if your audience includes users with limited vision. And finally, keep your registration process simple. Forms should be clean and easy to use. Don't ask for information you don't need or won't use. The more burdensome the process, the more likely potential attendees are to walk away without completing the transaction. And that brings us to the end of today's session. Don't forget that you can get additional guidance on this and other event planning topics in our Club Event Planning Guide, which is available for download in the Sertoma Member Center at members.sertoma.org. You can also access our training library there to check out additional lessons in this series. We invite you to connect with us in our members-only group on Facebook by using the link on your screen.